Every gilded cage is built with walls of comfort. The only question is what you're paying for them.
You ever get that feeling, that quiet, nagging sense that adulting is just a performance? Like you graduated high school, but somehow you ended up in the exact same game, just with higher stakes. I mean, really, think about it. Does it feel like you're playing a part? Like you're reading lines from a script you never even got to audition for? If that hits home for you, you're definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on that feeling and expose the invisible rules that are quietly shaping pretty much everything we do. So, where does this feeling even come from? Well, it's like we're living inside an invisible prison. The walls aren't made of steel bars, though. They're made of social pressure, unspoken expectations, and our own deep, primal need to just fit in. It's wild, right? It's like we're all still running on the same software we had back in high school. It just got a slick professional update. Click's got a rebrand, now we call it networking. Chasing popularity is now an obsession with clout and status, and that desperate need to fit in, oh, that's just called corporate culture. We're all still trying to find our table in the cafeteria, except now the cafeteria is the entire economy. And believe it or not, this is nothing new. Over 100 years ago, a philosopher named Friedrich Nietzsche totally nailed this. He called it herd morality. He basically said that society cooks up this value system that rewards playing it safe, being predictable, and just doing what you're told. It's designed to make us easy to manage by labeling our strong, independent instincts as bad, while calling conformity good. It's that little voice in the back of your head whispering, hey, don't stand out, just go with the flow. And this gets to the very heart of the trade-off we make every single day. Our brains are hardwired to see social rejection as a threat to our survival. So belonging feels like oxygen. But the truth, especially the inconvenient kind that challenges the group, that feels like fire. So what do? We choose the oxygen. We quietly swallow the truth to stay connected. We build our own cage, one tiny compromise at a time. So, if we're all building our own cages, who's handing us the blueprints? Well, here's the thing. This system wasn't some random accident. Oh no, the walls of this prison were meticulously designed. We aren't just born into it. We are actively and very skillfully conditioned for it. Check this out. This quote is from one of the main architects, a guy named Edward Bernays, who's basically the father of public relations. All the way back in 1928, he spelled it out. Don't wait for people to want something. You have to make them want it. This is exactly the logic that a movie like Fight Club was screaming about, you know? The things you own end up owning you. Our own desires have been turned into a manufactured product. And how do they get us to go along with it? With classic psychological moves like the foot in the door technique. It always starts with a tiny, super easy yes, click here to agree to our terms, or sign this online petition. But once you've said yes to that small thing, your brain gets this powerful urge to be consistent. So when the bigger request comes along, you're already primed to say yes again. Your consent, your obedience, it's engineered, one tiny yes at a time. Okay, now to really get the structure of the modern workplace, some sources use a pretty challenging metaphor, plantation logics. Now, to be super clear, the point isn't to make a literal one-to-one comparison. It's to argue that some of the underlying systems of control, exploitation, and surveillance have carried over. I mean, think about it. Total control over your schedule, extracting more value from your labor than you're paid, and constant monitoring of your performance. The argument is that this whole setup reduces people to human resources and reinforces that exact same herd morality, where being compliant gets you rewarded. And inside this system, what are we all chasing? Applause. But the applause isn't for being brilliant or innovative. No, it's for your performance. Praise is a tool to keep you in line. Being a team player, that usually just means not rocking the boat. And challenging the script, that gets you labeled difficult, and before you know it, you're isolated. You are literally being cheered for wearing your mask and sticking to the script. So what is the actual cost of living your life for this applause? Well, the price tag is way higher than we realize. You can measure it in your bank account, sure, but you can also measure it in your sanity. Let's just look at the cold, hard numbers for a second. For a long time, as workers got more productive, their pay went up right alongside it. It made sense. But then, around the 1970s, that connection just broke. From 1973 to 2013, productivity shot up by over 74%. And worker pay? It barely moved, just 9%. So the big question is, where did all that extra value go? It sure didn't go to the people who were creating it.
And this brings us to the most insidious, most genius part of the whole system. The most effective prison guard isn't some boss looming over your shoulder. Nope, it's the one we've all installed inside our own heads. That constant pressure, that voice whispering, "You're not doing enough, you're not good enough," that's you policing yourself. The system's greatest trick was getting you to become your own oppressor. So when all this self-inflicted pressure leads to mass burnout and anxiety, the system has one last defense mechanism. It just normalizes it. When suffering is everywhere, it becomes invisible. It's like background noise. After a while, you just tune it out. It's the bystander effect, but for our entire culture. If everyone around you is stressed and exhausted, you just assume, well, I guess this is just how it is, and you stop seeing it altogether.
So, how in the world do you escape a prison when you can't even see the walls? Well, this last part isn't about starting a revolution or fighting the system. It's about something much closer to home. It's about changing your own mind and rewriting the rules to your own game.
And this is the key. This is everything. True rebellion isn't loud and defiant. It's quiet indifference. The moment you stop needing the system's applause, the moment you stop craving its validation or accepting its definition of success, that's the moment you're truly free. You become dangerous to the whole structure, not because you're attacking it, but because you've just made it irrelevant.
The ultimate tool for this is something called cognitive sovereignty. You can think of it as mental self-defense. In a world where social media, algorithms, and peer pressure are constantly trying to do your thinking for you, it's the ability to just hit pause, put up a firewall in your mind, and consciously choose what you value, instead of just letting the world choose for you.
But let's be real for a second. This path is not the easy one. The system, for all its problems, offers the comfort of certainty. It gives you a map. It tells you the rules. Real freedom? It's messy. It's walking away from the crowd without knowing exactly where you're going. It can feel lonely and painful, but it is the only place where you can finally stop performing and actually start living.
So in the end, we're all left with a choice. The system is designed to reward you for staying blissfully unaware, for playing the game, for keeping your head down. But awareness, well, once you have it, it changes everything. You can't unsee it. So the question I want to leave you with is a personal one. Are you going to choose the comfortable performance that the system rewards, or the messy, difficult, but real freedom that comes with being aware?